Summer's almost over, but I'm not going to miss this last chance opportunity for some outdoor grilling. Today we're going to be making a bone-in ribeye on the charcoal grill, otherwise known as a cowboy steak. Come on outside. Here's our Weber grill. Let's zoom in and see what we got on the table. Okay, so from left to right here we got some baked beans, which we're going to make kind of special on the grill. Some salt and pepper and olive oil for the cowboy steak. We got some corn on the cob, little garlic and onion, and in here in this little package is our dry aged cowboy steak that we've been dry aging for about a week now. Every day I've changed this paper towel, and you can see it's built up a nice bark on the outside. We'll trim some of that off and get to grilling. Just a little bit of the fat. You can see it's gotten kind of a leathery texture to it. That's from the moisture evaporating out of the steak over the past few days. Should be ready to grill. Let's get our cover off. We'll take off our cover now, and we'll take off our cooking grate. Time to fire up the chimney. We're going to fill it up all the way with some lump charcoal. Okay, we got a few pieces of paper here. We just kind of crumpled up into a ball. We're going to stick those in the bottom of our chimney. I got 4 of them. You could probably get away with 2 or 3. But I don't like to play it safe. And then we're going to light her up. Once you get the fire burning, just give it some oxygen. And you got to wait about 10 or 12 minutes till you're ready to cook. See you in 10 minutes. You might be tempted at this point when you see these beautiful flames to take the charcoal off and start grilling, but don't yet. Just wait. Give it another minute till it turns white hot. Alright, now we're white hot and ready to pour. Pick up your chimney with 2 hands. This is dangerous, but it's also a lot of fun. And pour. We're going to put all our charcoal on one side of the fire so that we can have direct and indirect heating. Be careful where you put your chimney afterwards. We also have some beautiful apple wood chips that have been soaking in water. I'm going to grab some of those and put them on our fire as well. Get some smoke flavor in our steak. Next step, take your cooking grate, get it right on top. Take a paper towel, oil it up with some olive oil, and then we're going to oil our grates. Don't do this with your hands. Do this with a pair of tongs, otherwise your hand will catch on fire, your paper will catch on fire, and you will catch on fire, which will not be good. Let's get your lid on, start heating it up. I'll show you the thermometer there. We'll get a close-up of what's going on. Keep your top vents open so you get lots of air circulating. Be careful when you take your lid off. All that smoke is from the apple wood. That's going to provide a lot of flavor. But as we heat up our grill, we're going to start with a cast iron pan. We're going to heat it up in there. You can see we're well over 400 and we're creeping up. We're going to wait till we get up to 500 or even more than that till it's time to actually start searing our steak. Okay, we're over 500, time to sear. We're going to start by oiling our steak. A little extra virgin olive oil. You could use a different oil if you like. Both sides. Rub it in. This is just so we don't stick on the grill, and also gives it some extra moisture and flavor, which you need especially after dry aging. After that, we're going to do some kosher salt. Please use the other hand. I've seen too many chefs on YouTube using the same hand they just touched the meat with. I'm not naming any names, but please just use the other hand. Alright, here's the other hand. Let's do some kosher salt on both sides. Oh, and it's a challenge because the wind is blowing, so then you have to like try and miss and hope the wind blows it back in. That is like my golf game. You see how much salt I'm putting? I'm putting a lot. It's almost impossible to over salt this steak. Now I'm going to flip it, but don't flip it with this hand, flip it with this hand. See how I did it? Actually pat that salt in a little bit, really get it in there. And then flip it. We're not doing any pepper now, we don't want it to burn. But let's salt the other side. Lots of salt. Oh, I forgot about the wind factor. And then the wind just picked up. We're also going to salt the sides a little bit. Just like that. Tap this in. Okay, I'm going to change camera angles and throw it on the grill. Time to sear our cowboy steak. Don't throw your steak. That's the sound you want to hear every time. A nice hot sear right under the hot coals. We're probably running at about 550, 600 degrees right now at that spot. Just let it cook, and after a minute or two, once we're really nicely charred, we'll give it a little 45-degree turn, and then we'll flip it over. Okay, this is ready for a turn. We're going to turn it about halfway. Get that nice crosshatch on the steak. Look like a real restaurant quality steak that you would pay $50, $60, $70 for. Here we got a $20 Glock kosher steak that we dry aged at home. I'm actually going to cover this for a minute. When the cover's on, we're really getting a lot of that smoke in there from the apple wood, developing a lot of the flavor. Let's give it a check. Oh yeah, time to turn. Take a look at that crust. That is looking fantastic. Got a couple little charred bits, but it's no problem at all. Most of the surface there is a light brown, and it is nice and crunchy. It's exactly what you want. Okay, we're going to sear it on the other side, and then I'll show you how to assemble the sides. Should be ready to eat soon. Time again for a 45-degree turn here. Some people like to touch it and move it and turn it constantly. Just leave it alone. Let the grill do its job. You'll see it's going to come out fantastic. Okay, I think it's about time. Let's give a look. Yeah, we got great color on both sides of the steak. At this point, sear off the sides a little bit on the very hottest part of the fire. Just for about 15-20 seconds. You see it's bubbling like that. That's a very good sign. Getting a really hot 600-degree sear. You see the fire kind of burns up like that. That's a couple of pieces of fat kind of dripping in there. Just going to sear it, and then on the other side as well. Good looking cowboy steak. At this point the steak is beautifully seared, but it's actually not fully cooked on the inside yet, so we're going to switch. We're going to bring our pan over to the hot coals, and we're going to bring our steak off to the indirect side. Get our pan really nice and roasting hot. Our steak is slowly cooking all the way on the right here. We're going to cover it up. Our pan is blazing hot. We're going to get some onions and baked beans in there for our side dish. Let's get some olive oil in our pan. Our pan has been heating up here for a while, so I'm sure it's plenty hot. Just move that olive oil around a little bit. Cast iron pan is amazing. Wow, that handle's hot. It's amazing because you could use it out on the grill, you could use it on the stovetop, you could use it on induction. Let's get our onions in. Gotta love that sound every time. Stir our onions around. In the meantime, our steak is still cooking on the indirect heat. That would be more like baking in the oven as opposed to searing in a hot skillet. But it's still cooking slowly. And it should be ready for us when our sides are done. Get some salt and pepper in our onions. We have some salt on our steak, but actually we hadn't peppered our steak yet, so good time to put some pepper on the steak too. At this point it's not going to burn because it's not over the hot fire. I'm going to flip our steak over just to get pepper on the other side. And back over to continue cooking. Steak's ready. Let's take it off to rest. Onions look perfect. So right before we put in the baked beans, I'm going to add a little bit of chopped garlic. just an extra flavor. I don't want to cook this too much. Just stir it around with the onions. And in with the baked beans. And just combine it all. Simple flavors, nothing fancy, but it is so, so good. The beans don't come seasoned, so I'm going to give them a little bit of salt and pepper as well. And then the last thing we're going to do before we cut up our steak is we're going to char some corn. Now again, corn is a nice fresh vegetable. I don't know if you've ever eaten corn raw, but it's delicious that way. I prefer to cook it as little as possible just to get some really nice char. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the pan now over to the indirect. And I'm just going to throw the corn with a little olive oil right over the hot coals. Don't throw your corn. A little salt on your corn at this point. And then as you roll it around on the hot coals, you'll see that char marking coming out. It's exactly what you want. Corn looks great, nice and charred. Let's get these inside. Slice up our steak. Steak's been resting for about 10 minutes as we finished our veggies, our side dishes. Let's see how we did. Now I must admit, I've never dry aged a steak, but let's see how we did on the cook. Got some nice resting juices here. We'll pour that over once we've sliced. Now the grains of the meat run this way, so we're going to try and slice against the grain. Nice. Blushing pink, still with a nice sear on the outside. Can you see that at home? That is called medium rare, and that's exactly what we were going for. I'll make some more slices of this, plate it, and bring it to the table. Here it is. Cowboy steak, bone-in ribeye, sliced up beautifully, medium rare. It looks amazing, but we have to wait. First, let's try our corn. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hadama. Hear that explosion? That means it's not overcooked. Nice salty, crunchy, nice char. That's great. Now let's take some of our beans on our plate. And let's taste the cowboy steak. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol niyeh b'dvaro. Yeah, that's good. Really good. Awesome. What drink did we pick today? Well, I couldn't find any drinks, so scotch on the rocks. Wow. Anyway, thank you for joining me today for Cooking Kosher. It was great barbecuing out in the open air, and hope you all had a great summer. We'll continue making Cooking Kosher videos. You just let us know, comment below, like and subscribe. Let us know what you'd like me to cook for you next. I'm David. Have a great night.